Hello, my friends. AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Welcome back to my face and my card making space. And another Christmas video for my holiday card series. I will have a link at the end of this video to the first one, which also happened to be Pretty Pink Posh products. Just again, the way the cookie crumbles and things, how they're falling together. Anywho, today I am part of an Instagram hop for the Pretty Pink Posh October release. I will have a link to my Instagram in the description box below the video. Definitely worth checking out because there's tons of makers participating. It's another multi-day series of hops, inspiration, giveaways, all the things. So the link to my Instagram will be below the video. There will also be a link to my blog post, the supplies I used, etc. And yeah, I had to use it. It's the Pretty Pink Posh Christmas Dinosaurs stamp set. Love it. Absolutely love it. I laughed when I opened the package and I was like, this is the best set ever. It's ridiculous and I love it. I think it's so cute. So I did stamping and coloring and some little bit of glitter, splatter, bling, all the things, you know, very non-traditional because it's Christmas dinosaurs. So throw tradition right out the window, you know, and just have fun with it. And that's what I did. So if you keep watching, I will show you guys how I made these cards. So I started off by stamping all of these images. I've got my MISTI, I have some Simon Says Stamp, smooth white 120 pound cardstock, and then all of the little dinosaurs. I couldn't decide. I couldn't like choose just one or two. I was like, no, I have to use them all. I just do. And then I also used the little candy cane image. There's a few other little images in the set, some little Christmas greenery and whatnot, but didn't use those. I just used all the main images. And then I decided, oh, might as well stamp everything twice. Might as well make more than one card. However, all of the images, I couldn't just flip the cardstock around. So what I did was flip the cardstock around, used my Positively Perfect Placement Guide, large, matte, and transparency. That is a mouthful. Anything will work. I've shown in other videos using like the backing sheet of stamp sets, just something to protect the cardstock so that I can move the stamps around and I don't have to clean them. That's the only reason I do that. It just saves me the time and effort because I don't see the point in like cleaning the stamps, moving them where I need them, re-stamping them, you know? So that's where that transparency has been really coming in handy. So did all of that. And then I started coloring. Right this moment, this is real time. This is how the speed at which I normally, for the most part, color. Although I start out slow regardless, and then once I get my groove and, you know, figure out what I'm doing for colors, etc., I speed up a little bit, but not to this speed. This is literally like 20 times faster than I actually color. However, this video would be way too long and I actually have more than one video going up today. And yeah, I got a lot. So the coloring though was very, very simple, very basic. I went with very light colors. I was actually really inspired by one of the Pretty Pink Posh embellishment mixes because there were several released with the October like holiday release, and the Christmas tree clay confetti, which the image online, or at least on my monitors, is much brighter, and you'll see it later in the video because it's going to be sitting like on my desk. It's very pastel in real life, and I was looking at it and I was like, and so that's what I went with. The colors directly inspired this. I didn't end up even using them on my finished card, although I thought about doing like a flat shaker with the embellishments. That would have been really cute too. But yeah, random things for inspiration. So that's what inspired the colors. And I used my Copic markers. And yeah, showed the colors on screen. You can technically slow this down. I do the videos of me coloring in real time. That's a perk for my Patreon supporters. And that's linked below the video, as always. But anywho, I did all of my coloring in these like sort of more muted, kind of pastel-y sort of colors. And then after I did the coloring, I took my Tonic Nuvo Aqua Shimmer brush pen here, and it looks like nothing. In real life, it looks like nothing until you tilt it in light. And I will show that at the end with my flashlight because it adds sparkle, and you guys know I love sparkle. My spirit animal is basically a magpie. Anyway, I painted just a little, like the little Christmas light bulbs, the gifts, the little accessories here and there, you know, just added some sparkle to it. And then before I add my white gel pen, because like I always say, you want to add sparkle, glossy accents, any of those sorts of elements first. White gel pen is last, because white gel pen, the aqua shimmer pens, glossy accents, etc. will like smear it or just dissolve it completely. But before I do the white gel pen, I decided to use the darkest shades of all of my like coloring to add dots. This just adds a little extra texture and just gives everything just extra, you know. And this also comes in really handy if you're not like super happy with your blend, because sometimes that happens. I was mostly content with all the coloring I did, but you can never go wrong with some little dots. So I just went along and added it to all of these little dinosaurs and to the little wreath that the pterodactyl's holding. I can't get it. I love it. Christmas dinosaurs. Who'd have thunk? Genuine enjoyment making these, like completely silly, and I don't care. They were so fun. So after I did the dots with the Copic markers, then I went in with my white gel pen and added more dots. Kind of like the same concept as splatter. Can you have too many dots? I don't think so. So mostly dots, a few little highlights here and there. And like I also always say, I am not following any sorts of rules with, you know, light sources or anything like that. I am not the maker to follow if you want to learn those things. There are some fabulous colorists out there with card making that just, man, the shading and light sources and depth and all the beautiful things they create. I love it. I absolutely love it. And you can learn so much from them. Whereas me, I'm flying by the seat of my pants and just slapping it all. There's room for everyone. There's room for all of us. You know, I'm just doing my thing. Anyway, I die cut all of those little dinosaurs with the coordinating wafer dies. I set them aside. And then I also die cut some, this is Concord 9th ballet slipper, just a very pale pink cardstock. And I used the Pretty Pink Posh pierced Snowflakes die. And you can see there, it just pierces the snowflake pattern into it. And it cuts the cardstock down to A2 size. So it creates a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch panel with this pierced snowflake detail, which I just love as well, because it's very subtle, but I love the piercing detail with wafer dies. It's just, I love that little extra. So I then, of course, I'm going to add splatter because of course. So I put the panels into my splat box. I've got my white gouache here. Put that on my little palette, added a bit of water. This first brush, this is the Picket Fence fan brush. I'll link to both of them. Different brushes do different things. Even though these are both fan brushes that I'm using, they create different things. I find this, I have actually never used the Picket Fence brush for splatter before. And I find it gives a very, very fine splatter. It was, you know, very small, very fine, which is great. I was like, because you guys know, I like options. And then my regular fan brush that you guys see me using like a million videos, that's like completely beat up because I use it all the time. This one gives a bit bigger splatter. I'm literally splitting hairs here, you know, but again, if you follow me and you know, I like the splatter. And I like also experimenting to see different brushes doing different things, different types of paints and all the things. Anyway, splatter those backgrounds. Doesn't look a whole lot like much on camera, but in real life you can see it because, again, it's a pale pink background, but the splatter's there. It's worth it. And then I use the sentiment from the set, which, again, just I love. I love punny sentiments and Merry Rexmas. Yep. Had to use it. So I white heat embossed it onto some lipstick red cardstock. And then off camera, I just trimmed it out with scissors because there's not a coordinating wafer die for it. But I just quickly trimmed around it with scissors. You could also just use a paper trimmer if you wanted to. That works too. And then the sentiment for the inside of the card is actually from another stamp set. It's from the Pretty Pink Posh Holiday Stockings set, which is also super cute. And I just wanted a different sentiment for the insides. So I stamped that with VersaFine Claire Nocturne ink. And then took one of my little dinosaurs and adhered him to the inside of the cards. And then I decided with the backgrounds, like the splatter's dry, I decided to trim these down a little bit to just slightly smaller than my card bases, which are going to be, top folding A2 white note cards. So I trimmed the background down to about 4 inches by 5 1/4 with my guillotine trimmer. And then I had a rough idea in my head of my layout here, and that's what I was kind of figuring out. And I was like, okay, this is working. This is working. I can work with this. So trim down the second background. Same thing, 4 inches by 5 1/4 roughly. And then I'm going to adhere these to the card bases with just some Craft Tacky glue. And I'm going to put my ginormous Hero Arts blocks on top of it just to hold it down so that one can be held in place. Give it a couple minutes for the glue to dry. And then can adhere the other background to the card base and then transfer those blocks on top of it. Just something large and heavy. If you've got, books handy, which I technically do, but yeah, these blocks just come in handy. So once the backgrounds are adhered, all of the dinosaurs and sentiments and whatnot, I am adhering with just thin little foam squares. So it gives them a little bit of dimension, but not a whole ton of bulk. And I'm going to get all of those adhered into place. And the little candy cane, I'm going to have that little T-Rex holding the candy cane because I can't. It's just ridiculously cute. So adhered all those into place. And then my final little bits of embellishment, because like I said, I didn't end up using that Christmas tree clay confetti, which is, right there on screen. I'm like pointing to it as if you guys can see me pointing, but it's there on the screen. So that's what inspired the colors. And then my actual bling is just from Trinity Stamps. I have links for 2 of them. The red sort of color, it's called Carnival Glass. I don't have a link for. Simon doesn't have it on their site anymore. I'm not sure if it's been discontinued or not. But yeah, any sort of bling's gonna work. Could totally have just used those little clay confetti pieces too, because there's little pink ones and red ones and little yellow stars, and it's just, again, adorable. And this would totally work for a flat shaker. Like, seal up that pink cardstock panel, fill it with the little clay bits, and then adhere all the little dinosaurs and sentiment on top and call it a day. And it'd be just the most adorable little flat shaker Christmas card. But anywho, those were my cards. There's the little bit of glitter with my flashlight. Just, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with little dinosaurs and glitter and snowflakes and bling and just fun. So, like I mentioned in the intro, I will have links to all the things in the description box below the video. I'll have a link to my Instagram, my blog post, all the supplies used, etc. So you can check that out below if you are interested. Thank you all so very much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, letting them robot overlords know you guys like what you see. Subscribe if you haven't. I'd love to have you. And I'll see you all very soon in the next video. Bye.